Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for all of your love, support, messages on my previous YouTube video. It means the world to me. I am back today answering some of your questions that you sent me on my Instagram. So I've got these here. I've printed them out because I'm feeling very formal, and I've also got a coffee in tow. So it's going to be super casual. I'm not going to faff around with talking to you. I'm just going to get straight into it because my aim is to get a short video. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first question was, what is the best white paint? That's a really difficult question to answer. I would say that it totally depends on your room, and it totally depends on the amount of light that you have in there and how you want the room to feel. So if I was to recommend a really kind of strong, brilliant white, I would recommend All White by Farrow & Ball. If you were looking for a white that has a bit of a grey undertone, I would recommend Blackened. And then if you wanted a warmer white that was a bit more creamy with a bit of a yellowy undertone so that it feels a bit warmer, I would also go for Wimborne White by Farrow & Ball. Okay, so the next question was, where should I start when decorating? Feeling very overwhelmed. Firstly, I would say that's totally normal to feel overwhelmed. Don't worry about that in the slightest. Everybody does. And then I would say try and find a focal point within the room, and that would be a really good starting point. Whether that's a fireplace in your living room, a bay window, or try and figure out where you might put something like a TV or your sofa, and that will just help you lay out the furniture. Otherwise, I would say try and find something that will hopefully inspire you for the rest of the room. So that might be like a piece of art, it might be a rug or a sofa in a particular colour, and that's your starting point to get the ball rolling with the rest of the decorating. So for example, in here, I think I've mentioned before that I had a cushion, here you are, easy reach, a cushion which had all of the colours that I wanted to include in this bedroom. So navy, like a really kind of light paley pink, and then almost like a grey tealy colour. And that was kind of like the basis for everything. And it just, you've got to keep coming back to this piece. So if it's a piece of art, it might have certain colours in it like this or whatever. So yeah, find a focal point or a starting point of what you want to base the rest of your design around. Next question, how should you maximise your budget when redecorating? Where should I save and where should I spend? Good question. I would say invest in items of furniture because you want them to last. There's nothing worse than buying some furniture, it lasting a year or it falling apart. I would just say it's not worth it. I would recommend spending as much as you can on your furniture so that it stands the test of time. And then I would recommend saving on the little bits that dress the room. So whether that be your cushions, decorations, ornaments. There's so many good shops now on the high street, whether that be somewhere like Home Sense, which I love, you know, Dunelm, The Range. Granted, they're not high end, but if you're trying to save, have a really good look in there because they do have some really good finds. Quick coffee break. Okay. Question number 4, what is your favourite project that you've worked on so far? Favourite project would have to be the first one that I did for a non-friend or family member, just a total random member of the public who had messaged me. Reason being because I learned an awful lot. It was quite a daunting experience helping somebody that wasn't a friend or family member, and it was essentially for a aesthetic doctor who was bringing her clinic in-house. She had built an extension, and this was during lockdown of earlier this year. And she had reached out to me from an ad that I had posted on an app that's local to us in our area. And she basically needed help finishing the extension and designing her waiting room and reception room and her treatment room. And it had so many specifications that were only for a kind of medical environment, if that makes sense. So like you had to have certain flooring because of hygiene, or you know, the flooring had to go up the walls, all this type of thing. So I learned a huge amount. I felt so proud and grateful to her that she had trusted me to do it. As far as I know, she's a happy customer, And she was just really lovely to work with. So I would say that is my favourite project that I've worked on so far for a number of reasons. Question number 5. Can you tell us about plans for your own home? I can tell you a little bit. Oh, I'm getting a sticky throat. Don't worry, it's not corona. Can you tell us about plans for your own home? Yes, I can. I'm going to tell you what we've... Oh my God. Is that going to do it? Okay, let's start that again. Can you tell us more about the plans for your own home? Yes, I can. So we have some planning. Planning has been submitted for the whole thing. The whole thing is set out into 3 phases. Phase 1, phase 1.5, and phase 2. We say 1.5 because it's the way we've budgeted. Phase 1 has very much started, which is the cosmetic stuff that you're seeing at the moment. So internal cosmetics, just decorating the rooms, recarpeting, all that type of thing. Phase 1.5 will start in the new year, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about, but that is structural change that need planning permission. And that is, I would say, going to make a huge amount of difference to the front of the house. And I'm so excited to tell you more about that. And then phase 2 is the big build. The big build, I'll say, is a big extension. It will completely transform the house, but unfortunately we can't afford to do that straight away. So that will be in a few years, but stick with us because there's so much going on between now and then, and there will just be constant updates. So that's what I'm going to tell you for the moment. I'm thinking in the new year, what I'll do is give you a tour of the house as it is, and I will show you the plans for phase 1.5. Question 6. What advice would you give someone who wants a career change from a very corporate role in ethics for an auditor who dreams of following her passion in interior design? Well, I feel so honoured and flattered that you've asked me this, because I would say I am by no means an expert in career change. This is all still very much happening for me. I'm going through the process. But what I would say is a number of things. Firstly, it is far scarier in your mind to change your career than it is to do in real life. I put off doing this for years, and I'm sure I bored all of my friends and family talking about doing it for years. And I promise you, it's not as scary as it seems. So I would say take the first step, whatever that is. I would say if you're interested in interior design and you haven't, like me, been traditionally trained, I would say just immerse yourself in everything to do with interior design, whether that be courses. There are so many great online courses that you can do at your own pace, which is what I did. You could, read, listen to podcasts, buy endless magazines, look on Instagram, Pinterest, watch videos on YouTube. That's how I did it. That's how I'm not saying became an expert, because I'm not an expert in the slightest, but it gives you, and it helps grow your passion for it. And I think if you've got passion for something, your talent will naturally just shine through. So, God, that sounds a bit cheesy, doesn't it? But it's true, and I'm so pleased that I did it. So do it. What would your dream kitchen look like? Oh, I've spent so much time thinking about my dream kitchen. My dream kitchen would be open plan. I think most people dream of an open plan kitchen these days. It would have a big old island in the middle. I am not a fan personally of having anything functional on the island, i.e. a sink or a hob. I like to have a clean island because I think the reality is that it gets dirty, it gets messy, and actually I just like to have it as worktop space or space for entertaining, etc. So I would have a clean big island with plenty of seating, lots of cookbook storage because we have so many cookbooks in this house. We love to cook, but my God, we have so many books. It would ideally be at the back of the house, which lends itself well to where I live currently because that's where the kitchen will go. And I would have some sort of door to the outside, whether that be bifolds or crittle or sliding doors, whatever, just some sort of way to let the outside in. And ideally it would have some sort of dining space or living area. I think the kitchen is my favourite place to design because it's the heart of the home for so many. I think back to when I was younger and to my family's kitchen, to my husband's kitchen, and so many of our happiest memories are just standing in the kitchen, talking, drinking, eating, whatever it is. It just, it's the heart of the home. So that's what my dream kitchen would look like, but stay tuned for that because that is coming. Question number 8, do you have any renovation plans for next year? Yes, I feel like I've kind of answered that already. Number of phases. Stay tuned for January because that's when we'll hopefully have planning permission and I can show you more. Question number 9, I can't decide what I like. How do I make up my mind? Can I mix and match styles? Again, I would say that's totally normal. I like so many interior styles that I find it difficult to pick for myself. When it comes to clients, I find it much easier, but when it's picking for your own home, it is a difficult decision. I would say if you can't decide, number 1, don't rush into anything. So many times clients have come to me and said that they have just rushed into something because they thought that's what they liked and actually it was wrong, or the item of furniture wasn't comfortable or whatever. So number 1, don't rush. Do a load of research, whether that's inspiration on Pinterest and magazines, in Instagram, whatever, and just think. I would ask yourself the question of what do I keep coming back to, what am I drawn to the most, and that should be your answer. I would then say once you've found that answer, commit to it, just go for it. Don't look at anything else once you've decided that is it. And then I would say to mixing styles, yes, absolutely. For example, you might have a traditional sofa and coffee table and then a really modern, floor lamp or light fixture or ornament, and it can work really well. Final question, how is Max getting on? He is so cute. Thank you, he is very cute. Yeah, he's getting on really well, thank you. He certainly keeps us on our toes. He is just such a happy dog. Every time we've been to the vets, and I say every time because we've had to go a few times from him being sick or having an upset tummy and not having had a puppy for a number of years, the worry they give you is ridiculous. So we know our vets very, very well. But every time he goes there, they say how happy he is, how he's a bit of a chunky monkey for his age, which I think is just really cute. But no, he's super happy. He is just the best addition to this house. And yeah, he's super lovable. He has the cutest yawn. I'll see if I can get it on film for you because it's just infectious. And that's it for the end of the questions. So thank you so much for those. I hope that helps with some of your questions. This is the last video of 2020. It was one of my goals to set up a YouTube video by the end of the year. It feels a little rushed, but I've done it. So thank you so much for watching and supporting me. It means the absolute world. There is so much exciting stuff that is going on in 2020, whether that's with my own home and my own renovation, but also other clients' homes. So I've got 2 or 3 projects that I'm so looking forward to starting in the new year, and they've said that I can bring you along with me, which is just amazing. So have an amazing Christmas. I know it's not going to be the same as what we're all used to, but we've got to make the most of it. And I would say Happy New Year, bring on 2021. It's going to be bigger and better. See you in 2021.